Hey, welcome back. This is the Jerry White Show. I'm Jerry White, and this is episode 3 as I continue my breakdown of some spring football here in Etowah County. And today is going to be episode the Southside Panthers. Super pumped to get into this a little bit. Episode 1, that was the Etowah Blue Devils. Then we did the West End Patriots. And now we're going to do the Southside Panthers. And a lot of expectations everywhere. New regions for everybody. It's pretty intense. A lot of change. What's up, Stephen Culverson? Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm going to do a breakdown all the same. We're going to look back from 2020 till today. Then we're going to break down kind of what the expectations are going forward for the rest of the spring through the summer and right up until it's time to just put the ball down and go to work. I will say, hey, be weather aware. We have a lot of issues. I'm doing this Wednesday night around 4:50, Wednesday afternoon around 4:50. So weather is ominous to say the least. So seriously, pay attention. James Spann, he's doing what he does. So let's pay attention to him. But if you want to get your mind off of it a little bit, be sure to watch this, like, subscribe, share, comment. It all helps more than you could possibly imagine. I'm going to get a few minutes for it to get back in here. Thank you to our sponsors, Twin City Used Cars, my guy, Tree Man Tree Service, Jerry Bogle, 256-393-0127. Sam Boswell Honda of Gadsden. Go give Clint a hard time. Hey, election season a couple weeks away from us. How about elect Amy Minton, not Andrew Jones, on May 19th? One of Jeff and I's favorite sponsors. I love it. Hey, re-elect Etowah County Commissioner District 4. So a lot of stuff going on Capel this coming week. Friday, Jeff and I have a very exciting show. We're going to have none other than two of the most popular people in the state of Alabama, some may say the nation, in Mayor Joe Taylor of the great city of Rainbow City and Secretary of State Wes Allen. And Wes is here in town to celebrate the Challenger Center. But he's going to pop on our show first. And he's somebody to know. We really like this guy, great Christian guy, and we hope he is our next lieutenant governor. And by that article Jeff and I was reading, Wes, you're paying for lunch. You certainly have the cash on hand. So we going to Sizzler, baby. We going to Sizzler. Maybe not. Let's get right into it while I still got you guys' attention. We're going to talk a little Southside high school football. Again, we're breaking down through 2020. In that season, Southside was 7-4. They got just a horrible draw in the playoff. They did make it to the first round of the playoffs. They lost to Clay 63-0. It happens. That was Coach Gary Nelson. Here's where I don't really know Gary very much, but Jeff and I, we do a lot of high school football on the Capel side of our media company, and he was very nice man. He gave us a lot. Super nice. We loved him and his family. So when you look at that team, they had some players. Let's look at the all-state players they had on that 2020 squad. Again, 7-4. They lost 63-0 in the first round on the road. They had was it Alton Battles, wide receiver? He was all-state. They had Carnell Davis at running back, all-state. Eli Martin at linebacker was a guy. Then one of our favorite players, I'm talking about the quarterback, Michael Rich Jr. So they had some players on that team. Very successful season. And the next year, 2021, it was the first appearance for us for Miles Holcomb. And we were excited to have him in. Jeff and I may be making fun of the guy because of his tight breeches and no socks. But we certainly appreciate him, and we've enjoyed getting to know him over the years. But he came in, again, very good season. They lost a lot of those all-state players on that team, and they were still 5-6. They lost to Mountain Brook in the first round of the playoffs on the road again. Not a good draw again. And same score as the year before, 63-0, back-to-back years. Sometimes it's the luck of the draw, man. And they got banged twice in the playoffs right there about just who they had to go against. So my Panthers on. Y'all jump in the comments, man. Let's make some noise down there. Thank you, Pastor. Hey, if you want to check out Pastor Jeff tonight, by the way, 6 o'clock, we are closing the campus because of the weather. But Jeff's put out an amazing Bible study. Check that out. And link, he'll pop a link here in the comments, and we'll post it as well. So great Bible study. So we went through 2020, 2021. Now let's get to Miles Holcomb's second year in 2022. He was 5-6. I say he, like he played the game. Coach was 5-6. He lost in the first round of the playoffs again, 3 straight appearances, but 3 straight first round losses. That's okay, right? You got to learn to get there before you really learn how to win. And again, another tough draw. They lost the first round 61-25 to none other than state champion Ramsey. Ramsey won the state in 5A that year, and Southside again. I don't know who they upset about these drawings and these brackets, but we got to send flowers to somebody because they had some unbelievably tough draws. 2023, it really started to roll, and that was year 3 under Miles Holcomb. They were region champs, so that obviously should be celebrated. 8-3 season that year, and they had some. They lost to Boaz, 10-7 game. That was a battle. I can't remember exactly what went down in that game, but it kind of caught Jeff and I both by surprise. It was a home game. I think it was some turnovers that cost them. We really thought that Southside had the superior team, and sometimes the ball just didn't break your way. And they had some dudes on that team as well, some more all-state players. You had Jamin Brown on the offensive line. You had Mason Teague at running back, who was, man, I love the way the physicality he ran with. And Titan Rich, a linebacker. That dude tackled everything. Someone said, I think it was a Jason Bozeman call, who's one of my favorite broadcasters ever. Bozeman was talking about the vendor at the concession stand is not safe if Titan was around. He was tackling everybody. Again, another successful season. Playoffs in 2020, playoffs in 21, playoffs in 22, playoffs in 23. And then Miles Holcomb takes another job down at Tuscaloosa County. He leaves the program. I think we're all pretty shocked by that for a couple of reasons. One, I don't think anyone wanted to see him go. They were building something special, we thought. And Ben Stewart came in for a year and did a good job under the circumstances. That team went 6-5. They lost again to Mountain Brook, 45-7 in the first round of the playoffs. And all-state player Jamin Brown, again, back-to-back all-state offensive lineman doing big things, big dude. And I think Ben Stewart did himself proud for the 1 year he was there. And I think he's still on staff at Jacksonville. Last I heard, he was on that Jacksonville staff. I could be wrong. You guys, please hit me up in the comments. Again, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And again, thank you to the sponsors. Now, let's get to last year. Miles comes back. I think it's tough to come back 1 year away, and you're not completely starting over, but you have to get these kids to buy in. You have to build trust, and I think Miles did a really good job of winning the kids' trust back and building something. And not the season they wanted at 3-7. They had just a stud of an all-state player in Rance Brown, who left for, let's just say, I heard he left to go to Tennessee, just couldn't turn it down. Great NIL opportunities. The kid is going to play big-time college football, and he will certainly be missed this year by the Panther team. But let's take just a quick look at what they did collectively since 2020. They were 34-31 from 2020 to 2025. They won a region championship. They made 5 straight playoff appearances. Gary Nelson, again, but they did have 4 coaches. Gary Nelson, Miles Holcomb in 21, 22, 23, Ben Stewart in 24, and Coach Holcomb back in 25. So, consistency. Would it have been different if Miles would have stayed? We'll never know. But I think that people are happy that he's back. I know I'm certainly happy that he's back, and very excited to see what we're going to do going forward. And if we talk a little bit, if we're being honest, they got no favors again with the new region. Hey, Stevenson, I know the season's not started yet, but I think Southside will go to the playoffs. Whew. My man's out here making predictions, and I like it. Jeff, get your boy. Could they go to the playoffs? Absolutely. But let's just take a quick look about how they 5A. Now we all know this split, right? Public and private is split. Now we're in 5A, and if I'm looking at all the regions 1 through 8, and I'm looking at the classifications and how the regions break down, I think they actually Southside got in the second toughest region if you're looking at what's coming back, maybe the third toughest region if you look off last year's records for this year. So for an example, Southside's region that they're going to be in, and this is Region 6. The third, 45 and 34. 45 and 34 is the combined record of last year's teams that are in this region. I'll break that down in just a second. There's only two other ones that had a better better record. That is Region 7. They're 50 and 40. And if you look way up top, that Region 2, 52 and 38. So if you're going by that, I think that Southside is in the third toughest region. But it's going to be hard for me to believe that this is not going to be the toughest region in 5A football. Let's look at some of these regions before I break it down for Southside. Then I had some great back and forth with Coach. So I am is the hood still at Southside? Yes. Barney Hood is at Southside. So I'm going to kind of give you his thoughts somewhat. And he was very gracious in sending me some information and some comments. But in this Region 1, I think it's a pretty easy region in 5A. This is the public school side. Baldwin County, Blount, that's the Gulf Shores, Murphy, Saraland, Spanish Fort Theodore. There's some good squads down there. And Region 2, Ben Russell. This region is 52 and 38 coming back. Ben Russell, Park Crossing, Percy Julian, Pike Road. That's that San Ho, Elmore, Wetumpka area. So really some good football. But without further ado, let's just jump into right here close to us here in Etowah County, some teams you'll know about. The Region 5 is I don't think it's that difficult. Coleman, Gardendale, Huffman, Jackson Olin, Jasper, Minor, Multnomah Jordan, and Parker. That was 35 and 50 last year. Now, here is the SEC, or the old SEC West. For a lot of football fans would know exactly what I'm talking about. Here we go. Region 6, Clay Chalkville. That is the defending 6A state champions. They were 15-0 last year. Unbelievable team. Oxford. They were 6A last year. Pale City, 6A last year. Pinson Valley, they were also 6A. Of course, Southside was 6A as well. They were 3 and 7 last year. Springville was 1 and 9, have another new coach. And St. Clair County had a 10 and 2 season. So this region is 45 and 34. So this is not some of the teams. Clay Chalkville still going to be incredible, tough to beat. Oxford, you know they're going to be better than the 5 and 6 they were last year. Pale City, Jake Gangus, he has assembled an absolute squad. They are simply building something special there at Pale City. Pinson will be better. I think Southside's going to be better. Springville has another new head coach 2 years in a row, I believe, and St. Clair County coming off a 10 and 2 season. So again, we had 4 teams from this region in the playoffs last year in this 5A Region 6. Clay Chalkville, 15-0, state champions. They still return 3 All-State players. Oxford made it to the first round of the playoffs. Bell City made it to the first round of the playoffs. They have a new head coach. Pinson Valley has a new head coach. Springville, another new head coach. St. Clair County, made it to the second round, and they have they returned 3 All-State players from last year's team, including a quarterback. So again, no favors were done. And I'd love to hear your comments, man. You guys jump in here. We're going to get to some of the conversations I had with Coach, more so him with me. I just asked him for some information, and he was able to provide me. This is really just a Southside Panther fall breakdown, if you will, kind of a season outlook. Look, for Miles to say this, he doesn't sugarcoat stuff, right? He's gonna if it's not going the way he wants it, he will tell me. If he's excited about it, he will tell me. He told me that this has been one of the best off seasons that the program has had in years, and this Panther team started working for this in November. According to the coaching staff, this team feels like they have something to prove. But here's what I really like. He said they don't have anything to prove to the outsiders. They're not trying to prove anything to the Jerry White Show. They're not trying to prove anything to Kapow Media. They're trying to prove something to themselves. That's how you know it's good. Coach praised the teams for being tough, having great resolve, and more importantly, a daily work ethic. Not just it's okay. So I got a good work ethic on the days that I work. These guys are going at it every day. Saying that this group understands hard work, it doesn't guarantee anything. It does not guarantee success, but attacking each day with urgency, that's what you love to hear. It's about winning every rep. And if that's the way you set up your practice, and I'm sure this coaching staff is, again, they know what's ahead of them. They're not sugarcoating it for the kids. They believe in each other, but they have to prove it every rep, and they are trying to win every rep. They do have some bright spots. They're a very young team last year, and they return a decent amount of starters, both sides of the football. So there's going to be a lot to pay attention to this summer. I'm excited to see some 7-on-7. It is an unbelievably tough, but there's opportunities every week in the schedule, and we'll break it down, including their non-region games. They didn't try to get an off week. They did not try to get an off week, I promise you, by the teams they scheduled. So let's look at some of the returning starters and some of the kids that we really have high expectations for, and the coach certainly has high expectations for. You love it if you're a offensive, defensive line team, right? That's where you want to lead from those. You want to be aggressive. If you win the line of scrimmage, you're going to win a lot of ball games. So some kids they have coming back, and I think these are all. Two of these are 27 graduates. 3 are 27 graduates. One's a 29 graduate. So I may get some of these names wrong. I apologize if I do. Luke Olson, defensive lineman, high expectation. He's a returning starter, along with. Let's see. Let's go with. How about let's go Jaden. I think that's McElrath is how it's pronounced. He's an edge rusher. Levi Fell. He's a 27 defensive lineman, and Kenneth Morano, defensive lineman. He's a 29 kid, so a young kid. So they had outstanding seasons. I'm talking about Fell. I'm talking about Morano. Great off seasons. They're getting stronger. They're getting faster. And they're really encouraged the way they started. What's up, Scott Coley, my personal hydration specialist? In your honor, Scott. Glory. So this defensive line, this defensive edge, they have some high expectations for these kids for sure. Let's look at the returning linebackers. All you have to do is say, this is also a 27 kid. I'm talking about Colby Dodd. Remember this name, circle the name. He is an absolute warrior. Also linebacker, he's a 28 kid, Colton Johnson, and Griffin Frazier. He is a linebacker, also 28. This linebacker group has a lot of toughness, and they have a lot of intensity. So I'm very excited to see what energy they can bring from that second group. They're still part of the front seven. Defensive backs. Always a storyline, Jeff Underwood, he loves the defensive backs. Can't wait to broadcast some more games with you, my guy. He's probably done clicked off now. He don't care. He's paying attention to James Spann. What he does is if James Spann takes his coat off, Jeff takes his off. So at the end of the night, you know what the weather's going to be like just watching the service tonight. Defensive backs, Chase Clow. He's a 27 DB. We have Choisey. Ethan Choisey is a 28 DB. Maddox Gray from 28, and Luke Brooks, 28 DB. Thank you for the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. The major storyline this spring so far has been Jamal Boyd has moved from running back to the defensive back, and reportedly he has had an excellent spring. Oh, he's watching the Braves. What a great win last night by my boy Olsen. He went yard. Going back to Boyd, a transition from running back to defensive back. And again, he is tracking. He's having a great spring. So the 7-on-7 work I'm sure they'll be having this summer is going to be huge for this kid to just learn the position. And we're going to switch to the offensive line. Again, very, very young. And I'm excited for this group. They have a group up front. And who knows what happens in the summer and somebody jumps somebody, or somebody they wasn't expecting turns out to be a dude. But they have some, I think, 4 returning starters. And they have a fullback that moved to offensive line this year. He's a 27 kid, and Braden Brown. He's going to be moving from fullback to offensive line. But is it Futrell, right? It's Colin Futrell. He's a 27 offensive lineman. I want to talk a little bit about a kid I was impressed with last year. I got to watch some of his huddle tape, and that's Noah Miller. He's also a 27 kid, so he's going to a junior season. I think this young man is going to be special. When you have Futrell, you have Noah Miller, Wesley Carroll, Reese Daughtery, and the new up-and-coming kids like J.C. Hutchins. He's a 29 kid, so very young kid. He's already pushing for playing time. So I'm very excited. This is going to be an experienced offensive line, and it's going to be a strength of their football team. So if your offensive line is the strength of your team, good things will happen. I think Akusa Christian proved that last year, in the last few years. Offensive, defensive line is a strength. Quarterback now. This young kid, I'm talking about Christian Morris. He's a 29 kid. He was a freshman last year. He got through into the fire. And I think once he understands, and Miles does a great job with quarterbacks, understanding you can be a great quarterback coach and not necessarily – you can be a great offensive coordinator, offensive-minded coach, and not understand how to coach quarterbacks. Miles understands. So he has a great ability to be able to get the quarterbacks to understand not only, hey, here's my progressions, here's the concept we're running, and this is what I want you to be looking at for this wide receiver. But as far as getting them in better plays or checking from a bad play, he believes in them. He trusts his quarterbacks, and he does a great job of coaching that up. So I have huge expectations. He's a kid I want to circle for all the quarterbacks in Etowah County this year. You're on notice, and we have some good ones in Etowah County. One I can't talk about just yet. One at Westbrook, who, again, a senior, going to be incredible. One at Gadsden City. We'll get to all 3 of those schools. Sam Soley is maybe one of the best quarterbacks to come out of Etowah County in quite some time. This young kid is going to be tracking to do something pretty special. Got to get better at the pre-snap situation, and I think he certainly will. It's time for big-time growth for this young quarterback. When you think Southside running backs, Miles Rickles, he's a 29 kid. You pair him with Mason Gray, and they're going to use a 2-back system this year, which I'm a fan of. According to the staff, both backs are very explosive, but they bring totally different styles, kind of like a 1-2 punch. If you want to go Irish, look at the Notre Dame offense this past year. They ran a 2-back system. Jeremiah Love, I could have won the Heisman Trophy. He was number 3 pick in the NFL draft. And Jardarian Price also went in the first round. The only 2 running backs chosen in the first round went number 32 to Seattle. They were very complementary backs. They both did different things, but they were both effective and efficient in what they did, both very explosive. So I happen to be a fan of the 2-back system. And together, they're going to be a huge, exciting part of this offense. I know if they're running backs for miles, then they're going to be able to catch the ball. They're going to utilize that as part of the running game. And I think one of the comments that Miles Rickles, he's even hungrier after a very, very strong freshman season. Now let's talk about some very special talent from the wide receiver positions. Noah Thompson, he's a 27 kid. Deegan Garrett. If your name's Garrett, you're going to be a baller. Deegan is high expectations. He's a 28 kid. Adrian Davenport. We know, Jeff and I know how talented this young man is. Seen him since he was, 2, 3, 4 years old. Very athletic, great hands. He's a competitor. His dad was a pretty special quarterback at West End back in the day. Then we have Hassel as well. Anderson Hassel. He's a 29 kid. So a lot of young freshmen on this team. Coach called the wide receiver room one of the most impressive groups on the offensive side of the ball so far this spring. He emphasizes how strong connected this group is off the field. A lot of chemistry. They love being together. They push each other. That's what you want. You want a tight knit, but you want to have a group that's going to be efficient, effective, but competitive. Again, it's about winning the rep. Make each rep count. And apparently that's what is going on in this very, very young wide receiver room at Southside. Again, thank you to the sponsors. Please like, click, comment, subscribe, and share. This is episode number 3 in our spring Etowah County High School football, talking about each team in Etowah County. So this is team number 3. And you cannot have a good offense without a tight end and a fullback. Southside, don't worry, they have those two. Sam Berry steps in that fullback back role again. Got some good experience last year. He's a 28 kid. I expect big things from him. Kane Russell, he is a 27 tight end. He's one of the more interesting position changes. He moved from the defensive line to tight end. That tells me a couple things. That tells me he has great hands. He has great footwork. And anytime you change positions, especially something like that, it's a different style of thinking, and you really have to focus on coaching. Every rep matters. But he believes that continue improving like he's doing so far every day, keeps that up. He's going to be play a big role in this season at the tight end position. We're talking about Kane Russell. He is going to not only can he catch the football, very aggressive, likes contact, will be an excellent blocker in this system. But it's just not talent, and we all know that. Hey, thanks, Daniel Harper. Appreciate you watching, bud. It's just now, if you want to have great team chemistry, you have to have great leadership. And Coach said this is a very collective group, and he really praised a few of these kids. Coach said that these players have been vocal leaders, also holding themselves accountable, not just trying to hold other people accountable. You're leading the way. And Colin Futrell, we got J-Dom, we got Luke Oltza and Chase Cloud, Noah Thompson, Noah Miller. Well, again, I think is going to be the leader of that offensive line, and Jamal Boyd. All those kids are being praised for their leadership so far in the spring. We want to look at the schedule here. And before I get to a final takeaway, and I won't keep you very much longer. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I absolutely love doing this. I do want to take just a quick look at the overall schedule, because they're not hiding from anyone. The region, the High School Association, did them no favors about putting them in the region that they're in, but you just put the ball down and play, right? That's the Buffalo Bills mantra this year, just put down the ball. Nothing else matters. The talk doesn't matter. You open up this 26th season at home versus Chelsea, and Chelsea is a team, they're kind of up and down. Last time these two teams won, the last time these two teams played, I think, was all the way back in 2015. They've only played twice. Chelsea has won both of these games. Let's go back. Last year, Chelsea should be ready for this, but they were 5-5. They did not make the playoffs, but they was in a tough region as well. But Southside has some payback for this Chelsea team. 43-10 was that score back in 2015. So haven't played very often, but Southside wants to get a win on them. Then, how about this rivalry at Hoax Bluff? So we all know what that's about. This is going to be, it's just a rivalry. And I'm not going to say these two teams don't like each other, but they absolutely love competing against each other. And when you talk about competing, Southside's normally a Thursday night game, right? Hoax Bluff, Southside. It's one of those things you just know is going to happen. And let's just take a look at the all-time record between these two programs. Again, thank you so much for jumping on and watching this. And I'm going to thank you in advance for sharing. So does Hoax Bluff hold the all-time lead, 33-40-3. 33-40-3 all-time. So what a matchup. These two teams will get after it, and I'm here for it. Then they have an open week, and then it gets serious. You jump into this Region 6 play. Clay Chalkville comes to town, the defending 6A state champion. You go to Pinson. Then you step out of region play, and you have the Battle of Highway 77. The Etowah Blue Devils travels up 77 through Rainbow City, cross the bridge, and they're going to go to Barney Hood Stadium. Then Springville back in region play. Two unbelievably tough road games in a row at Pell City, at Oxford. Then a very competitive St. Clair County. They were 2-10 last year. Then you finish your season against a team that played for the state championship, Anniston. You go to Anniston for that one. So this is a unbelievably tough schedule for the Panthers. Coaching staff, Coach Gray is doing an outstanding job with the defense. He described Coach as being, he's deeply respected and coaches these kids hard. And I say it all the time, that if a kid knows you love them, then they'll take hard coaching. And that's the kind of aura this coach has. They know he loves them, so they'll take the hard coaching. So it's always good to have that. And is it Coach Scoop? He has been living in the weight room. So they're going to get stronger. They've already seen a difference in their bodies. And once they see that, they're buying in. They know what's next. They're excited. The before and after photos have been fantastic. So some of my final takeaways here for the show is this feels like a hungry football team. Not a team just expecting success. This is a team that's chasing success. That they lost a streak of five state playoffs in a row, which is an amazing streak in itself. They have experience. They have returning talent. They're young. They have some other young talent emerging. Their physical development in the weight room is going to be something special to see kind of how it progresses from here through the end of the summer. And players appear to be fully bought in to the process. So here's the big question. How fast can this young group finally come together before one of the toughest schedules in the area begins? It's going to be a brutal schedule, and we're excited to see what goes on for this. So, hey, reach out, tag Southside players, administration, staff. Thank you again to our awesome sponsors. It's the only reason we get to do this. Twin City Used Cars, Tree Man Tree Service. He may be busy after this line of storms coming in. If you need him, call him. He'll get out to you, 256-393-0127. Go see Clint Barley at Sam Boswell Honda Gadsden. Don't forget to Amy Minton is asking you to vote for her, not Andrew Jones, on May 19th for District Seat 10 and re-elect Etowah County Commissioner Seat 4, Tim Ramsey. So that is going to do it for the Jerry White Show today. Pay attention. Bad weather, be weather aware, be prayerful. Hey, check on your neighbors, and love you guys. And we'll be back maybe tomorrow. Don't forget on Kapow on Friday, we have the Secretary of State, West Allen, and Joe Taylor. So Jeff Winter and myself are very excited about that. So thank you again for watching the Jerry White Show.